KILR Taylor Game.
Something else is out over here. I don't know what that is. Oh, hey, we got some people joining. Welcome, everyone. We're on our way to Las Vegas. We just need to make a stop to get some fuel. So, Airspeed Alive, how you doing? Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here with us. Just making a temporary stop. We got to refuel. But we've had one heck of a flight so far. Let's go ahead and save the situation here. We're at Chinle at the moment. It would help if I spell it right. And we're going to go ahead and fill this puppy up here. So go ahead and fill that up. Peso total. Yep, this is a Spanish version of X-Plane 7. It is the only version I can find that would that's a full version, not a demo, where we can fly around the whole world. Yeah, no, we don't have to wait. You know why? Because the guy that's over there that's waving at us, he's letting us know that he's got fuel. He heard about us flying to Las Vegas, so he's been following in his car. He's been following on the ground with his car, saying, you know what? He's probably going to need some fuel. Let me keep an eye on him. And then when he saw that we had to make a landing, he's like, hey, buddy, I'm on your side. I got some fuel here for you. No, this is not mobile. This is a PC version. This is the X-Plane 7. They came out many years ago. Let's make some changes here to the atmosphere so that everyone can see the fancy 3D clouds that came out way before Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, heck, technically they still don't have 3D clouds. We're up there in the air. Going to make a few more option changes here. We'll make them a little bigger. That kind of made them bigger, not too much. Ah, I know why. Because I need to change it to that. There we go. So yeah, there we go. 3D clouds. This early in the development of X-Plane. And here's a kicker for you. They cast shadows on the ground. We didn't see that until P3D. And it's this early in X-Plane's development. Can you imagine that? Isn't that crazy? Yep, I've got all the X-planes dating back to number 5. The graphic that you're seeing below, that is the cover that I have for X-Plane 7. X-Plane 5, oh, where did I put it? Not up there, that's for sure. I need to really organize this thing a little better. But here is X-Plane 8. Of course, I'm sure you all know about X-Plane 9. Of course, X-Plane 10. Here's X-Plane 6. And X-Plane 5 I've got somewhere. Oh, I think that's it. I found it. And here is X-Plane 5. Now, if you go to one of those... there's some site that I forget what it's called, that has like all the pictures of the boxes and stuff like that. They're trying to say that this is X-Plane 6. It's not X-Plane 6. This is X-Plane 5.52. I'm sorry, that's not 6. If it's got anything with 5 in it, 5.52, 5.5, or 5.8, I'm sorry, that's version 5, not version 6. So, oh, that's cool, airspeed. I do all kinds of classic flight sims on this channel. I do some other stuff as well, but I have I do streams dating all the way back to and videos over on YouTube dating all the way back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. I also do the Commodore 64 Flight Simulator 2, as well as the Amiga, ProPilot, Terminal Realities Fly, Sublogic Flight. Next month I'll be doing some videos on Sublogic ATP. And it's not just default. I have add-ons, enhancements. I look for custom content. Sometimes I create content. So if you love classic simulators or just want to relive those old memories, then this right here is the channel for you. This is where you're going to want to visit, follow, so that way you get notifications. All kinds of good stuff here. And I do P3D and also X-Plane. So I do the modern simulators as well. So what am I using here? Is this an emulator? Some of the simulators I have to use an emulator. Some of them I can run natively. X-Plane 6 I can run natively on Windows 7 or Windows 10. This X-Plane 7 doesn't work. I have to use VMware for this one. On the other simulators, I have to use DOSBox for X-Plane 4, Flight Simulator 4. There is a... I've used a PC emulator for Flight Simulator 2. There's a specific IBM 5150 emulator that I used for the first one, so the graphics look correct. And also I've used PC emulator for Flight Simulator 5, 98, and sometimes VMware for 98, as well as Flight Simulator 2000. So I use a variety of different types of stuff to be able to do these flight simulators. I think we're set here, though, to continue our flight. So let's go ahead and turn on the battery power. Get the parking brakes on. We're moving. We don't want to move. I'm trying to get this these magnetos to both, but it doesn't want to go there apparently.
Down to 16,3040 United. 8 heavy.
Command and Conquer. Oh yeah, I bet. So, John, you know, we were confused about this GPS thing and what it was trying to say. This almost seems like a distance type of thing right here. Because, look, it's centered. And we're at the airport, so... Yeah, I'm not quite understanding that. Okay, so we're going to continue our flight to Tuba City. We'll get our flaps up. And we'll head over here to the end of the runway and say farewell to our plane spotter who brought us fuel. He's over here at the end of the runway with his car. He's sitting there waving at us, so... If you think I'm joking, I'm not. There's a little guy over here. He's waving. He's behind the fence and he's waving. Yeah, if you're all wanting to see these old X-Plane videos, I think you're in for a treat. I have been amazed on what X-Plane looked like back in these early days. I've been really impressed. We were flying through the Rocky Mountains earlier, and they looked pretty good. Had a heck of a time trying to get through them with the Cessna, but we managed it. We got through. Let's try to stay on the taxiway. That might be good. There's even ATC chatter built into the old X-Plane. So there are like certain things in these old X-Planes that they did away with in the later ones, which I don't understand. They could have done more with the ATC chatter. But, you know, you have to have a third-party plug-in for that now. Which is good. I have it. I have XATC chatter. Good program. I highly recommend it for its price. So there's the guy right over there. He's got a green car. See him? Put on the brakes here so that way we can... Sorry, scrolling around here. Where are you? There he is. Here he is. He's waving at us with his green sports car. Yeah, so he brought us some fuel. He was following us. He's our little plane spotter. He figured we weren't going to make it to Vegas with the tank that we had, so he's been watching out for us. Uh-oh, I think I might be stuck in the mud here. There we go. All right, here we go. Take care, all you folks in Chinle. Pay attention. I'm like reading the chat off to the side, not keeping my eyes on the road. Doesn't that look great for its age? Let's try not to stall. That might be good. I can read your stuff now, John. You're right. I wasn't blaming you. I was blaming myself. You know that thing where, you know, you shouldn't be looking at your phone when driving and stuff? Yeah, I was not paying attention to the road, so don't worry, I'm not blaming you. Blaming myself. Yes, it was released earlier. I'm not sure what year because on the box I couldn't find a date. But I'm sure it's not much later. Hang on a second. Let me get the autopilot on here. Okay, so I have this collection here for X-Plane Global Scenery. I actually did not need it for this. This came on a DVD which had global scenery, but I've been able to use this for X-Plane 6, which has been nice. This has actually got a date on it. So this is copyright 2003. So I think X-Plane 7 came out around 2003. So imagine that. This came out somewhere in between FS8 and FS9. And this is what we have. Mind blown. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that unlike Flight Simulator, this does not have landmarks. You know, like landmark buildings, things that you would recognize. It's just autogen. It's just very basic, but it still looks good. I mean, if you don't mind the fact that certain cities don't look the way they're supposed to, then this is still very enjoyable to fly. Now on this, there were two cities that were depicted, whatever, specifically, and that was JFK and also the Madrid airport. Yeah, I'm not sure why I can't break 100 knots. That is kind of weird. Maybe we've got some wind that's preventing us. Let me take a look at the options here. No, I got wind. Knots. It's off. There's no wind or anything. I don't think this was released in 2000. I think X-Plane 5 was released around 2000. I've got a date on the box here. Okay, this here was released. This is copyright 2000. So X-Plane 5, which actually still looks pretty good, this was released in 2000. And if you compare this with Flight Simulator 2000, yeah, this is definitely higher quality. Wow, the Vor Needle's getting away from me here. Try to move back over here. Go in the wrong direction. This way to Tuba City. And we need more altitude. We were up at 9,000 before. So I've been taking her up a little bit at a time. I don't have any control on vertical speed as far as the autopilot is concerned, so I bring her up in spurts and then lock the altitude in again, wait for the speed to get back up and bring her back up again. So yeah, once we get a little higher in altitude, I'll pull up a video that I have on YouTube in regards to X-Plane 5. That way you guys can see parts of it right here on Twitch, and then you can head over there later on. You'll be able and watch the rest of the video. Here's some other very neat things about these early versions of X-Plane. Take a look at the planet map right here. We can zoom in and zoom out, zoom around. It seems a little slow. There we go. So there we are. Much more impressive than what Flight Simulator has. Even P3D for that matter. This is so much nicer looking. Some more altitude here. I've got some more speed I can work with. Right about there. I do have Orbix for for FSX and P3D, which does look nice, but I don't have the system to really get the most out of it. I have an i5 3.5 gig machine with a GTX 760. I am saving up for an RTX 2070 Super. Yeah, the 200 gigs, that's if you get the high definition version. Not so bad if you get the... That's like the 4K version. And honestly, do you really need anything that's that sharp? Like, I've got DVDs that still, I think, look just fine, you know? They don't look... I mean, yeah, 4K is nice, but sometimes too sharp is too much. Like, it looks too flat. I think where the 4K comes in handy is when you're on a much bigger, when you have a much bigger TV or a bigger screen. I think the 4K becomes more important there. When you're on a small monitor, though, I think 4K is a little unnecessary. That's my opinion. But yeah, when you get a much bigger screen, then it becomes more apparent, you know, of the quality because it's being expanded. Looking a little low here. So you guys remember I was telling you about clouds on the ground, right? Do you see them? Look at that. Clouds casting shadows during the time that Microsoft was in between Flight Simulator 2002 and 2004. Is that not a kick in the pants right there? We're going to bring ourselves up to just over 8,000 feet. No, that's not too bad. I had invested in the Orbix overhaul a while ago as well. One of the best investments you can do for FSX and P3D. If you want to take your flying seriously on FSX and P3D, you really need to replace those graphics, those textures. Now, if you're just going to do some casual flying, let's say you're a beginner, yeah, then, you don't really need to. But if you're wanting to get a little bit more serious with it, yeah, you got to get rid of those default textures. Those textures date back to like FS9 and FS8. And it really shows its age. And yeah, you're spending over $100 or so to do that. Yeah, but just take it a little bit at a time. Set like $10, $20 aside a week or something. Save up for it, and then you can buy it. Orbix is not a sponsor, by the way. I don't have any sponsors. I could use some. I could use some sponsors. Yeah, no sponsors. I don't have any room for P3D5 yet. And I think I'm going to wait for a bit after several, updates. Because, you know what? P3D4 looks, with the add-ons and enhancements, it actually looks pretty good. I can hold out. That'll give it some time for them to get it more compatible with some more add-ons and stuff. One of the annoying things about the global vector, though, is that there are some airports that just, they're sunken into the ground, raised up. It just looks absolutely awful. I did a flight on P3D recently that went to Chinle airport over in France. And because of the, I think, because of the vector, it was not playing nicely, even when turned off. It wasn't playing nicely with the third-party scenery that I bought for it. It was putting trees out into the lake. But Vector, when it works, actually does make things look a little better when it works properly. It does make things look better. But I think I have more conflicts on P3D than I do FSX. I haven't had as much problem with the vector on FSX as I have had on P3D. We are about 59 miles from Tuba City. For the benefit of those who are joining us, we are flying to Las Vegas, Nevada. Let me pull up my Navigraph here, so that way you can see the flight plan. So we just took off from Chinle right here. We're going back on our flight plan. And we will be coming here to Tuba City and then Grand Canyon. So if you've been wanting to see what the Grand Canyon looks like in an old version of X-Plane, don't go nowhere. Don't go anywhere. You're going to be able to see it right here. And then Peach Springs. And then we'll be coming up over here to Boulder City and then Las Vegas. So we've got some good scenery ahead, some good retro scenery. All right, let's get some more altitude. You need more altitude. Anyone know what movie that's from? I don't know why we've got this sparkling effect going on here. It almost seems like we've got a like film look going on. Look at those shadows. Look at that. We're going to get some more music on here. This is all music that I put together. Because when I get this stuff on YouTube, they like to copyright claim stuff, so I just put together my own music. That's not Grand Canyon. Okay. 113.10. There we go. I think it's very un-X-Plane to be able to scroll around. That's like Flight Simulator there. But this is before, you know, the virtual cockpits and stuff, so it just seems kind of weird seeing this in X-Plane. Get some more altitude. Shadowwulfe, hey, buddy. Good to see you again. We are still on our way to Las Vegas. Been taking a bit longer to get there in the Cessna. It's the second part. Did the first part earlier today. Had to take a break because I was getting really tired. Came back. And about 3.5 hours ago started the second part. We did have to make a stop in Chinle to refuel. But we got a full tank. And we are on our way. I know. That was great. I don't know if every airport has it or not. What version? Oh, what version did they switch to 3D cockpits? That's a good question. I had someone else ask that question earlier. I don't know if See, my copy of X-Plane 9 does not have... oh, wait. X-Plane 9. Because on the back here, it says, new for X-Plane 9. All new, highly detailed aircraft with full 3D interiors. Including the Piaggio, Cessna, and the Cirrus jet. Stunning new global scenery and atmospherics, including reflective water and volumetric fog. New menu, support for new generation hardware stuff. So it was X-Plane 9. And X-Plane 9 came out... is there a year on here? ...2009. So right around the time of FS9. That's about right. X-Plane 6 was around 2002. X-Plane 7 is around 2003. Because I've got this global scenery for version 7, and then the copyright's 2003 on the back. So we'll be taking a look at X-Plane 5 here in just a moment with one of the videos that I created. You know, in some cases, the 2D cockpits were much more detailed than the 3D ones. We were doing the Flight Simulator 2004. That's right. We were flying the 707, and the 2D cockpit looked much better than the 3D cockpit did. Okay.
American Full 62 Heavy, descend to maintain 2000, turn left heading 360.
Let's see. That's not it. Scenery looks really good, I think. X-Plane 6 looked decent too. They've made some improvements on this one as far as the autogen is concerned. But I definitely think that this X-Plane 6 and 7 are, in my opinion, still very flyable, very enjoyable. Okay, so here is the video I talked about here that I created, recorded a little bit ago. This is X-Plane 6. Hopefully you can see it. It looks a little dark. But yeah, this is X-Plane 5 here. So I mean, you can see the old. This is supposed to be a Cessna. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to see what X-Plane 6 looked like, 5, sorry, it's right here. Figure we'll get to the point where I'm taking off. See, and this is ATC, so you can select ATC and get permission to take off. I think pretty much. I think the focus was more on the blade element theory. Rather than, you know, the cockpit or the scenery or you know, stuff. It was more about how the aircraft performs. Yeah, here I am trying to take off. That's Merrill C. Meggs, by the way. Not quite accurate in the area. It should be on an island, of course. You know, it wasn't really shown very well there. And this is downtown Chicago. Just generic buildings sitting there. You can see there's no specific landmarks or anything. That's the thing about the old version of yeah, see, there's Meg. See how there should be water around here and there's not. The texture on this, there's just grass. There, you know, it doesn't really look like a city or anything. Yeah, so there you go. A little bit of X-Plane 5. Yes, Chicago Meggs. That is the first airport. And that particular video is part of a series that I have on YouTube called the World Tour Series. And all the simulators start off at Chicago Megs. And they follow a flight plan, and most of those simulators all follow the same flight plan. So it goes from Megs to Chicago O'Hare to Aurora to DuPage, I think. And it works its way around, and all the simulators do the same thing. So if you've ever wanted to see how each leg of a flight compares with each flight simulator, I have that on my channel. Rather than a video that has just generic, flights to kind of show you, well, this is what this looks like and this looks like. No, you get to see the actual flight and be able to compare them. And a good example of that is around Moline, Illinois, by the Quad City Airport, and also Dubuque and La Crosse, because that's where the Mississippi River is at. And you can see just how each of those simulators were showing what the Mississippi River looked like. The most disappointing one was Flight Simulator 5. It's partly there, and then it disappears. And then the other ones are not too bad, especially when you've got some add-ons and enhancements to it. So with the World Tour Series, I figured you had to start from Megs. That was the default airport. So I kept it the same for all the simulators, including X-Plane. Do I have the original Flight Simulator? If you mean Microsoft Flight Simulator, yes. If you mean Sublogic Flight Simulator, not yet. And I'll pull that up here because, as far as I'm aware, I am the only one that has Microsoft Flight Simulator 1 looking the way it's supposed to look. I've checked. The first time that I did a Flight Simulator 1 video, the lines were moving up into the sky and everything just looked absolutely horrible. I'm actually pulling up that video so you can see it. Okay, so here it is. Here is Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. This is using composite, a composite graphics, so that way you get the color. And you can see the graphics are not doing anything funky or anything. And I will be doing, I got to record some more videos for that series. So I'll be doing some streams. I'm not sure when, but I will be doing streams with Microsoft Flight Simulator 1 here on Twitch. So that'll give you a chance to actually see them. Yeah, this is great detail, isn't it? If you ask me, I think this is better than Flight Simulator 2020. Doesn't take a whole lot of resources. I know, a lot of buildings. Keep getting blown off course here. "27 miles from Tuba City." Here's a few more things about X-Plane, the old versions of X-Plane that we can pull up here. We can pull up a local... This is our Shadow, apparently. There's a AI aircraft that keeps following us around. But here's Tuba City here. Now we can go through here and we can change things. I think one adds like airways. Then there's a sectional map. Weather radar. You can see there's... I think those are clouds. Not sure. Texturized. And then there's this, you know, if you're looking for a psychedelic trip out map, and this may do the trick for you.
Thank you very much. 9549, go green, traffic 2 mile final, runway 1, no delay, takeoff.
No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Yeah, there's some really neat little features in these old X-Planes that they did without later on, so... We've got a little bit of a flight here ahead of us. I'm going to leave the cockpit here for just a little bit because I'm a bit hungry. So this will stay on, but I'll be back in a little bit. So don't go anywhere. No, I don't know what this is. This is not working the way it's supposed to. I think this is trying to say something else. I've got the VOR locked in right here. I've got it locked in right here. So, using old-fashioned navigation. I'm only using this so that way I know how many miles away it is, because there's no DME or anything. So I'm using this to see how many miles away we are. Do you want a ticket refund? I gotta have a little bit of a break. This has been a longer flight than I expected. Alright, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Stream is not going anywhere. It's gonna be right here, so yeah, this is a serious marathon in the Cessna. Oh yeah, I'm on autopilot. Autopilot's right here. Right down here. So, we're good, don't worry. And we got 22 miles. It's going to take us a little bit, so I'll be back before then. Besides, I want to see the Grand Canyon.
Correction 588, heading to right heading 070, stay airspeed.
Alrighty, everyone, I'm back. Feel a little bit better there. We were having a Taco Tuesday. Putting together our own chalupas. So we got some taco shells, some tortillas. Put refried beans on the tortilla, wrapped it up around a taco shell and filled it up. And then I got a what was it, like a sriracha ranch or chipotle ranch or something, and put that on the top, you know, of the taco with the meat and some Mexican rice and cheese. Yeah, put that on there. It was pretty good. It's in the back seat. It's a it folds out. You know the little Easy Bake ovens, the little kits that they got? Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know? Kind of pull it out. So as far as the chalupas, I'll go ahead and share some here with you. There you go. Just go ahead and grab yourself one. Help yourself. Got some drinks right there in the background. Just go ahead and grab some and enjoy. We're all friends here. We're all friends here on the Killer Gamer channel. Plenty of chalupas for everyone. Yeah, we're about, what, 3 miles away? Yeah, I see it right there. Tuba City and the lake right nearby. I can see, I think I can see something. There's something. I don't think that's the Grand Canyon. I think this is the where the I-40 is at, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to head in this direction. The I-40 goes in between a couple of mountain mesas there, and that's where the border of New Mexico and Arizona is at. So I thought you might find this interesting here. The Chinle Airport. Here it is. So yeah, literally there was nothing out here. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's the right one. Have I ever flown from Devil's Tower? No, I have not. Let's go ahead and make an alteration to our flight plan. And let's go over here to the I-40. We'll do a little bit of VR for our flying over here. Matter of fact, I might make... I don't know. If we should fly to Flagstaff. Might be interesting to see what Flagstaff looks like. Should we follow the I-40 to Flagstaff and then go to Grand Canyon there? And then we can just head from there to Boulder City instead of going to Peach Springs? Oh, really? This is not it right here? Okay. Alright, then we won't... Fuel's right here. We're right up here. Oh, okay, so this is the Grand Canyon. I didn't think it was at first, but... Here, I'm going to go back the other way. The Vor is over here, but... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what you're talking about in regards to the 89. So Arrow was on earlier on the stream, and he was telling me about a flight that he's going to be doing, which really interested me. Because of the airport that he's going to be taken off from. Which I think I'm definitely going to add to my wish list. It's the Beijing Daxing International Airport. And there you go. That's what it looks like. Look at that. Now, this is a airport for P3D. I'm looking at this at Sim Market. But yeah, he told me about this, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get that. This is just a really neat looking airport. Here's the real airport right here. So this is the real airport, Beijing Daxing. So I think they did a really good job with that. And he's going to be doing this here. I think the Beijing airport, I'm not sure which code it is, but yeah, so I think he's flying out of here. Which maybe I should do that also. It'll be early in the morning for me, but maybe we should do the same thing and fly that with P3D tomorrow. Yeah, I'm with you, John. I hope they do the same thing. Did you see Highway 89? I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if we I'm sure he passed it, but I was looking for it. Man, I don't know about you, but I think the Grand Canyon is going to look pretty nice. Just from here, it looks pretty cool. Oh, dang it. I'm not paying attention. I do not want to go in the direction of the Vor. That's right. We're going to VFR through the canyon. And I think we're going to skip Peach Springs and go straight to Boulder City. Well, I am picking up a signal. Yeah. If we continue on the course that we're going, we'll be going to Boulder City, so we might as well do that. And I don't have Grand... We're not 20 miles from Grand Canyon. I forgot to change this. That's okay. Alright, Boulder City, 153 miles away. So, just to catch everyone up, for anyone that's been joining us on our Retro X-Plane 7 flight, we've been flying from Denver to Las Vegas. We had a very interesting challenge getting over the Rocky Mountains with a Cessna. We had to get a little creative. It was kind of like flying through a maze. You know, and you can't really cheat and go over the hedge. So, yeah, we had an interesting time going through that. And we are approaching the Grand Canyon. So if you've ever wanted to see the Grand Canyon as far back as X-Plane 7, here it is, right in front of us. Also, a little bit of history on X-Plane 7. This is the first version that had 3D clouds. You can see them up there. And they cast shadows on the ground. This X-Plane dates back between Flight Simulators 2002 and 2004. Now think about that for a moment. It's funny, Austin Meyer, it's like this was his secret weapon. He was secretly developing this, and very few people knew about it. It seems like. while there is a really nice alternative to Flight Simulator. And the graphics are really not bad at all. This is a very flyable, very fulfilling simulator, I think, that you can still have fun with today. Provided that you have VMware and you played in VMware. Because it doesn't work on Windows 7 or Windows 10, unfortunately. Windows X-Plane 6 does, though. Well, we got some weird stuff happening with the river over here. Little bit of a problem there. That's more like a blue line that's being painted up the side of the canyon. This kind of goes back to what I was saying, where it's interesting to fly certain areas and the different simulators to see how each one did. You know, it's like, how well did they do the Grand Canyon? You know, with the graphics that they had. Or did they just kind of slap it together and it was what it was, you know? And another thing about these old versions of X-Plane, and I don't know if it's in X-Plane 11, I don't think it is being able to fly on Mars and do like space shuttle re-entries. That was a big thing with the old X-Planes. And I mean, I didn't really look, but I don't know if it's in X-Plane 11. I tried it a little bit on X-Plane 6. It's rather interesting, actually. It is on X-Plane 11. Okay, that's good. I had to try it then. I'm sure it's much improved over the old versions. A scenario, okay. Yeah, it's a scenario on these too. What about Mars, though? See, the thing is, I have not been able to find any Mars scenery. There's supposed to be Mars scenery on separate discs, and I haven't been able to find them yet. You know what? Let's have a little bit of imagination here. And let's say we're getting a little bit more clouds developing. And some rain. Except I don't think it's actually raining. Let me change this again here. I might have to put this up. Okay, we're not at... Oh, we are... Let's raise the cloud level here. That should do it. Oh, Interplanetary Cessna. I like the ones that are like voop. That's an interesting one. Man, I am not hearing any rain at all. Maybe I need to turn this up here. There we go. Got a little bit of something going on. Yeah, the Cessna would be a Firebird. Do any of you remember the series? The original name for the series was G-Force, but in the States it was called Battle of the Planets. And they had the ship that would light on fire and would become the Phoenix. Any of you remember that series? It was like an old anime series from the 70s. And there were five people, and they had bird outfits. I love that show. But I tell you what, the big anime that had the most impact on me in the 80s was Robotech. And if you know anime, I sure hope you know what Robotech is. Of course, my wife didn't know what Robotech was until I showed her. Robotech was 3 animated series. They were completely, totally different stories, but in order to do a syndication, in order to bring it to the U.S., they had to put it under one label. And so there's 3 animated series. Macross, Southern Cross, and then Mospeda, or what was called the Invid Invasion, was all under the Robotech brand. And Voltron, yes. The only Voltron that mattered was the one with the lions. I did not care for the cars. Yeah, Macross. Yeah, Macross and Robotech, same story. If you've not seen the original Macross, the original Japanese animated version, highly recommend that you check it out. Robotech had more of a kid feel to it, while Macross still kind of there, but it has a little bit more seriousness to it as well. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the original, highly recommend you check out the original. But the two major cartoons that I watched in the 80s was Transformers, Generation 1, of course, that's what we call it now, and Robotech. Those were the two big ones for me. Yeah, there is thunder. We should be hearing rain, but I'm not hearing any. This here is a disappointment over X-Plane 6. X-Plane 6 definitely, I think, was a little better in the storms department. Because you could see the rain, you could hear it. Although the lightning and the clouds is definitely better looking here. Especially with the 3D clouds. You know, I didn't really watch Thundercats much. The one that I watched was Silverhawks. Remember Silverhawks? Silverhawks. And you had the cowboy with the electric guitar. I have that on DVD. Then there was another animated cartoon that came out called The Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. That was another one of my faves. That was Firefly before Firefly ever came out. You had metal horses. The Rangers had badges, but the badges, you would touch it and there would be like a power or something, a genetic power that they would have. And of course the coolest character was Goose, which was kind of like the Clint Eastwood Clint Eastwood type of character, except he had blonde hair. Oh yeah, Doctor Who. I did not get into Doctor Who. I had watched some of it with the fourth Doctor. He was my first Doctor. But the most that I saw at the time was on BBC America. And so they were playing the fourth Doctor. That was pretty much all they were playing at the time. But then much later, when I had watched the Doctor Who movie with Peter McGann, and then of course Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, on up. I had gone back and I started watching all the old classic Doctor Who's, and I love the classic Doctor Who's. I love all the Doctors. I love the first, second, third, fourth, all of them. And the 13th, okay, she's had her moments where she was quite good. But I'll just go on record here and say I did not like what they did for the last Doctor Who finale, where they basically rewrote 50 years of Doctor Who history. No. That was a no-go for me. I did not like that one bit. That really turned me off. It turned me off to the point where I don't even want to watch it anymore. Would I go to external view? Absolutely. There we go. Whoa, that was close. I don't think the Grand Canyon is green, but and it's not very cliffy looking. This is a little bit more smoothed out than I think what it should look like. But still, not bad. Yeah, just about. About the only thing this one doesn't have that I wish it did is the flybys. I love the little flyby animations. Camera views. I don't know about 1 through 4, but 5, it had a day and night cycle, and it also had weather too. It was kind of basic, like where you had clear skies, some clouds, and overcast. I think was the most that it had. We can check out some X-Plane 5 after this if you'd like. And maybe for some laughs, we should take off from Grand Canyon, the Grand Canyon Airport, and see what it looks like in X-Plane 5. We're going to change the graphics a little bit more here. Slowly but surely. Give ourselves some moderate rain here. I might have to go in here and click regenerate weather. Let's see. No, okay. I don't know about you, but I sure don't hear any rain. That's turbulence. Microburst, that's what this is here. There would be wind, but we'll leave wind out of it because, yeah, the Cessnas don't don't like wind very much. Well, so far the VORs, I just have Navigraph, so I created my flight plan with that. And then I just tuned them in. But so far, the ones that I've looked up have been in there. But in case you don't have Navigraph, you can go here to the maps and the local maps, and you can see some VOR information here. Oh, there's Peach Springs right there. So I guess that was... I guess we could go to Peach Springs if we wanted to. There's our shadow. He's still following us. But yeah, here's the Grand Canyon. So yeah, you could look him up here. And that's about as far as I can zoom out, and you can't really scroll much further one way or the other. But yeah, that's the way that you can pull it up there. So that's one way there, and then there's your GPS here, so you can get some VOR information here as well. There's a selection here for airport, VOR, NDB, and INT, I think, is intersection. going to go into the options with sound. Here we go. I think this is the chatter. ATC chatter. Yep, it sure is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I think we should be in the area of Los Angeles Center, or somewhere close to it. I figure let's get some real chatter going on here.
Maintain level 410. Flight level 41. Number 421 Juliet Foxtrot LA Center, the Daggett altimeter 3000.
I think some of the river is going up and down the hills again, but...
Executive 506 LA Center, Roger. Flight 367, contact LA Center 135.25. That's 25,
Yep. 109 miles away, yeah, according to our GPS here.
November 1 Juliet Foxtrot, direct Wig intersection, then direct Boulder City, rest route unchanged. Jet 506, cross Clara at maintain 13,000 at 250 knots, Las Vegas altimeter 2997.
Getting the VOR set up for Las Vegas, although it shouldn't be too hard to find it from Boulder City, but...
November 7 Kilo Romeo, contact Delhi Center 132.5.
American 6654, now,
Looks like there's exhaust coming from the... Well, I guess that would make sense. It's burning fuel. Exhaust has got to come from somewhere. Yeah, when I had trouble with getting over the Rockies, where I had a couple of issues, the plane had dipped down and the propeller broke, just slid right down the mountain, and there's like smoke coming from the engine. Yeah, it's one of my priceless moments.
9480, Bob, go ahead.
As far as bloopers go.
November 9480, Papa, do you have time to file with flight service?
No, I don't think it's my chalupas burning. Are there any left? Did you guys eat the rest of them?
2056, Delhi to the rest. 80 Papa, Roger, you said you did have one on file. Stand by, I'll take a look for it. Number 80.
Might be one left.
Squawk 7304.
I got a little mini fridge over here. Just pop it into the fridge before it goes bad. Appreciate it. I come prepared in my flights. I have a little mini fridge and stuff.
We're
good to go.
Radar contact, and what's the routing you would like, or just like direct?
Might have to. We're still doing good on fuel, so I think we'll be fine.
Number 80 Papa Roger, you're cleared to the Kilo Bravo Golf Delta Airport. Your present position, direct Tuba City, direct to the airport, climb maintain bubble 230. November 1 Juliet Foxtrot, cross Wig intersection and maintain 10,000.
I applied to the Alpha the first time I heard it. Either I haven't been lucky, or they saw my system specs and laughed, and they're like, yeah, right. i5 with a GTX 760.
Verify on the group clearance.
Yeah, this guy's not going to be a good tester. I think your specs beat mine. But I tell you what, with my setup, I can run these old simulators like a champ. Rather than a chump. Give me an X-Plane 11 and P3D in a major city with a major airport and a bunch of air traffic, and I'm no longer a champ, I'm definitely a chump. That's what I thought too. You know, I thought they might want to see, how's it going to run on a night. But that was, when I first signed up, that was back before we even knew what the recommended specs were. And, well, now we know. And I think, I can't remember, but I think an i5 was okay. But you definitely need a better graphics card, not what I've got.
Southwest 536, center file discretion, maintain bubble 10. Southwest 536, files discretion, maintain bubble 21021.
We're 95 miles from Boulder City, and not much farther to Las Vegas from there. Moving right along. Alright. Time to get some more rain. Although I don't hear it. Yeah, let's change it to severe. Let's see what happens. I still don't hear rain.
Tuba City, or you need something a little bit further north than that? Alright, Zero Papa, yeah, that's fine. Deviation left, of course, approved, and when able, proceed direct to Tuba City.
Maybe. Either that or I don't have the right cloud cover or something. But I think I've got the right cloud cover. Now this is all it here. Here, we'll just do severe, severe. I'm not sure what this is. Let's move that up.
Number 231 Foxtrot X-ray, LA Center, the Las Vegas altimeter 2997.
We'll bring these up a little bit more.
Number 1 Juliet Foxtrot, contact Las Vegas approach 125.9er.
Yeah, as far as the pick, rain, boo. X-Plane 7, you did a horrible job. X-Plane 6 was better.
November 21 November, there's a small area of oxygen station at your 11 to 1 o'clock in about 20 miles, extending about 5 to 10 miles longitude of flight, top and base is unknown. Let me know if you
I could lower the visibility, but I actually like what we have here. It does fade out pretty decently, I think. So I like this look.
Direct Hector when able.
LA Center for flight 1914, flight level 360.
Flight 1914 LA Center, roger, break, number 873 Golf Lima, LA Center, the Needles Valve, altimeter 29087.
That's really impressive. There's my shadow down there. Maybe that's Arrow back down there. Maybe he's following me. Arrow, are you watching? Is that you?
Center, good morning, Sky 5225, climbing through 1284190 on the sheet.
Sky 5325, LA Center, climbing same level 300.
300, Skywest 5325, and how's the rise this morning?
I should be just occasional light shot headed to the northwest.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know. It's an AI. I'm on Vatsim. You didn't know? No, I'm kidding. It's AI traffic. On a serious note, when you can say how much air traffic you want. What I've noticed that it does is it generates the air traffic within a radius of where you are at. So it doesn't have like flying from point A to point B. It just happens to generate it within a certain radius of your aircraft. So there's always something near us. Yeah, I have no idea. The pitot heat is on, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. You could be right. You know, they may have not modeled the Cessna perfectly. It flies really nice, but this thing doesn't have the power. That's why it's been taking long for us to do this flight. No, we've been going at 90 knots. We were going faster when we were descending. We were going faster that way. All right, let's take a look here. Whoa.
November 873 Golf Lima, contact LA Center.
Talk about a delayed reaction.
November 873 Golf Lima, 2815, 128.15.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be doing much. This mixture should be doing something. It's not doing anything until I pull it out a little too far.
007.
Next X-Plane 7 flight that I do, I'm going to copy my that one plane from X-Plane 6 over here to 7. That's a nice plane. That one actually, we got some good speed with that one. Gas mileage was really good. Yep, flaps are up. So yep, flaps are up. Yep, we checked that earlier.
Southwest 536, contact Las Vegas approach 125.9er.
Yeah, 125.9, okay, Southwest 536.
I didn't think the Cessna was going to be slow on this. I thought we'd be able to get somewhere between 100 and 120 knots. But nope. But I didn't want to give up on it. We had autopilot, so it was definitely much more flyable, much more controllable than the other Cessna. That one is good for some short hops where you can fly it by stick, but this one probably need to keep it to short hops as well, or medium ones. Yeah, here's the flap indicator down here. I just now noticed it. Yeah, their flaps are down here. Elevator trim right here. I tried to pitch the nose down, but the autopilot just readjusts it again. Is that an old T3600 from Dell? No. If you're what this, you're either talking about this or you're talking about this. These are both custom-made computers. The one standing up,
Roger.
I had made for my mom, and she didn't need it anymore, so she gave it back to me. The big one that's sitting back there is my i7 machine. That is in the process of repairs. But I haven't done anything more with the i7 machine because I've been thinking about building an i9.
Join the link, 8 arrival into Van Nuys, maintain 10,000.
In either case, I'm going to have to reinstall everything. It's the same motherboard as what I've got in the i5 machine, which is what I'm running on. I used to run everything on the i7, and then the processor died. So, but I got the processor replaced, but I was having a heat problem with it and didn't do anything since then. And I've been able to get okay performance from my i5. The graphics card I really need to change. I've got an old GTX 760. If I plop a new graphics card in there, it's going to help tremendously. Well, currently I'm not on an i7. I'm on an i5. I think it's a 5th generation, either a 5th or 6th generation. The processor is from about 8 years ago. So, yeah, it's an old motherboard. It's an old processor. It served me well for many, many years. But it's definitely time for an upgrade, new computer, especially with Flight Sim 2020 coming. So yeah, I will be getting that when it comes out. But I do a lot of the classic Flight Sims also, here on Twitch, over on YouTube. By the way, yahbhoy, nice to meet you. Glad you're here. We're about 73 miles from Boulder City, and Vegas will be right after that. It's been a long flight. It's been a long flight because we're not getting a whole lot of power out of this Cessna, and plus we had a bit of a challenge getting over the Rocky Mountains.
November 915, Tango Victor, climb maintain, flight level 280.
Up to 280, thanks, Tango Victor.
Southwest 1040, cross fuzzy at maintain 16,000 at 250 knots. Las Vegas altimeter 29907.
Okay, cross fuzzy 16,000, 250 knots, 29907, Southwest 1040.
Yeah, it's hard to read it. It's right here. Yeah, 101 knots. I thought we were going to get somewhere between 110 and 120, but yeah, we've been fooling around with the controls. We messed around with the mixture. The Cessna, although it flies great in X-Plane 7, it wasn't really modeled too well as far as the performance goes. Yeah, I took the eco-friendly version. Yahbhoy, hey, FS9. I have a previous stream that was done yesterday where I did Flight Simulator 9 and I flew a Boeing 707. Flew from Kuwait International to where? Was it Amsterdam? I think it was Amsterdam. So if you want to see some retro FS9, yeah, there's a previous stream. You should be able to see it here in the previous videos and stuff, streams and stuff that were done. It should be up for about 10 days. But it's all recorded, and it will go up on my YouTube channel eventually, so it won't be completely lost. Islamabad, yeah, that's it. With crashes, yeah, it was. Yahbhoy, yes, it is the Captain Sim 1, the legendary 707. I recently got the 707, the legendary 727, and then I got the Captain 757 for FS9. So I got all those. They very inexpensive now, $10, $10 for each one. And I have a bunch of other stuff too. Ow. Other stuff that we're going to be playing around with. Got the Concorde for Flight Simulator 2002 and 2004. By the way, I also fly those simulators as well. I haven't dug into this yet. This is for FS9. It's called Flying Club. I haven't tried that one. I also got the iFly 737.
November 5 Single Victory.
I've got Dash 8 300. This works with 2002 and 2004.
Echo, November, Oscar.
I need a better case for this one, but got the Airbus A380. And then there is another 737 that I've got from Wilco Publishing called 737 Pilot in Command.
So flight 1914, contact Open Center 132.
I also have a PMDG 737. Works on both FS8 and FS9. As a matter of fact, here it is, right here. Oh, and I got a few other ones as well.
5325, contact Oakland Center.
I also do streams and videos dating all the way back to Flight Simulator 1. I do quite a few Flight Sim 5, 98, and also 2000 videos. And it's not just default. I enhance them with add-ons, expansions, custom content. So I really push those simulators as far as I can push them. You know, basically it's having fun, having as much fun with those simulators in 2020 as was done back in that time. So it's reliving some memories for me, but making new memories because I didn't push them that far back then. Whereas now, I've got them loaded up with stuff. Yeah, the Level D 767, I need to check that one out. I thought this one was interesting. This is for Flight Simulator 95 and 98. It's the 747 jumbo jet, and it says "Fly the big one." Every time I hear this, "Fly the big one," I think of Toy Story and the big rocket, where he's like the big one. Look at this nice collection now. This is for Flight Simulator 98. It's called VIP Ultimate Classic Wings. This has got the Airbus A320, the ATR 4272 and 500, the Avro Lancaster. This has got the Boeing 707, 720, 747, 757, 767, the Canada Air Regional Jet, Bombardier Global Express, de Havilland DHC-6 Twin Otter, Douglas C-47 North American T-6 Texan, McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom, the Mad Dog 11, Sikorsky S-61, the Vickers Viscount. Now, this is a really nice box. Oh, I had this up in that direction there. Yeah, big box stuff. I tell you what, they're neat, but it sure takes up space. It takes up a lot of space. I did one stream with this, the Concorde, for Flight Simulator 98. That was interesting. Did, I think, a couple of flights, 2 or 3 flights with Airbus 2000 for Flight Simulator 2000. And we use this add-on called Captain Speaking 2002, which has got some pre-programmed ATC adventures from one destination to another. They are interesting as far as an alternative to ATC, but the voices are really strange. But if you're looking for a good laugh, those are fun to play around with. Yeah, so if you like classic Sims or ever had an interest in them, this is a great channel to be at here. From what I'm told, I'm the only one out there that is doing streams. Or at least for the moment. I don't think there are many people out there that are interested in flying the old Sims. I get a kick out of them. I love them. And they've been an eye-opening experience as well, just from a historical point of view, just from a retro perspective, going back and playing ones that I played before, and going back and playing ones that I never did before, like the old X-Planes. I've never played these before. My first X-Plane was X-Plane 11. But it's been an eye-opener with these old X-Planes, being able to see what they're capable of. Have I tried the RFP 747-200? No, I don't. I'm not familiar with that one. Do you mean for FSX P3D or FS9? Ah, okay. FS8 and FS9. No, I haven't seen it. I don't think I have that. I have a few other things here, but let me see. I've got another 727 here, 727 Professional, right here. This is just flight. I don't really have a need to use it on FS9, but this does work on FS8. I've got World Airports 2, Airport 2002, Ultimate Classic Wings for FS98 and FS2000. I think this is a duplicate of the other one. Oh, ready for pushback 747. Now that sounds familiar. I remember. I remember. I haven't played it, but I do remember that title. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm going to jot that down then. Just so you know, something that we have here on the channel is killer points. So the more that you watch, the more points you earn that you can redeem for special little things. But that includes redeeming points to be able to request a flight for me to do. There are 3 different levels. The first one, you can choose a simulator. So, hey, do a flight with this simulator. The second one is a simulator and a flight plan. The third one being a simulator, flight plan, and an aircraft. So, I set that up so that way I could get you guys involved in what we do here on the channel. You know, gives you a chance to, you know, get a little bit of input and say, hey, I would love to see a flight done on Flight Simulator 5 from here to here, or X-Plane 8 from here to here. So, and John, you've been watching a lot. You should have a lot of points. You haven't redeemed any points yet. You should have plenty to redeem. Yeah, I think that's down below. I'm not sure where it is visually because I don't have that screen up. But yeah, I can't remember the tier levels. I think I've got 1,000, 1,500, and then 2,000. I think are the tier levels. I think that's how I set it up. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can redeem too. Like you can like change some of the emotes or some of the icons, or there's all these other little things that you can do too. So, and like those are good for like 24 hours. I think there might be like some little animated GIFs or something that you can also purchase. They're just little fun things to get all of you involved, just, you know, with the channel, some interaction, and I'm always looking to find more stuff like that. That way, you know, we can have a little bit more fun on the channel, and, you know, that way we're not just kind of sitting here going, looking outside the window, you know, a little bit more fun stuff going on there. I did see a plugin or something in regards to what? Oh man, what's the name of that game? Like Nobody Move or it'll explode or something like that. I think there's some type of plugin for that, but you have to actually get the game. But yeah, I saw that. I'd like to do the thing with Spotify, you know, where people can request music. But then if I do that, then I can't really put it on YouTube because then they copyright claim it and everything. So, oh, okay, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. All right. Yep, keep talking and nobody explodes. That's the one. Yeah, well, yeah, boy. I guess you got to stick around a little longer, don't you? Yeah, you're going to have to stick around, and you're going to have to follow so that way you get notifications of when I come online. But hey, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You get to be part of the killer community. That's what we call ourselves, the killer community. And we have fun here. We have fun. And you get to see some of my infamous landings. I say that sarcastically. And also, I also recommend following me on Twitter and Instagram, although I know some of you out there don't do that. You don't do Instagram or Twitter, and I totally understand that. Twitter I use for official news and announcements, so that way you guys know, hey, this is what I'm working on. I'm planning on going online with a stream. Instagram, I take pictures and photos of projects that I'm working on, kind of let you know what I'm doing behind the scenes. But I've got those feeds now showing on the Twitch page here. So if you don't use Twitter or Instagram, it's okay. That information is being feeded into the Twitch homepage. It's under the About tab. So if you're looking for any updates, you can come right back here to Twitch, look under that tab, and you can see what's going on. Another happy landing. Yeah, that's about right. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. See, what I have up on the PC is basically the streaming page. Where I've got, like I got a thing here where I can pull up like a poll. So I can do a poll in the middle of a stream. And also allows me to edit the stream info in case, you know, I'm doing a marathon and I'm changing stuff. And then I've got a little button here where I can run a 60-second ad break. Yeah. Yes, you could. Yes, you could. If you wanted to torture me. Yes, you could. With great power. Yes. Comes great responsibility. That's from the awesome Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. You know, looking back many years later, I liked Spider-Man back then too, but I like it even more now. The one from Avengers was actually good. I liked him too. But the Tobey Maguire version felt more like Spider-Man back then. I think Sam Raimi did a really good job back then. Yeah, Andrew Garfield didn't click too much for me either. What I did like about The Amazing Spider-Man, I never did watch the second one, but what I liked about it is it was a bit more true to Spider-Man, where his web shooters were actually, you know, they're the actual web shooters. It wasn't like, you know, some mutation or something where he's shooting webs. And of course, the one from Avengers, well, you know, that's just kind of like the Iron Man, Spider-Man. So, hey, while we're on the topic of Avengers, are any of you interested in the upcoming phases? Phase 4, Phase 5, blah, blah. All the stuff after Endgame. I haven't seen the Spider-Man, was it the multiverse one or whatever? Oh, Coming Home, Homecoming, that's what it was called. I haven't seen that one. But after Endgame, I just don't have the interest to see them. Maybe Guardians 3, when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out, I'd be interested in that. And possibly Doctor Strange. But all the other ones, I don't know. I'm just not really interested. Black Widow does look interesting. Oh, and the Loki series that's going to be coming to Disney Plus. Come on, Loki. It's Loki. That'll be worth seeing, I think. Yes, yeah, it'll have the original actor, which I can't seem to place his name at the moment. It's at the tip of my tongue. Yep, there you go. Tom Hiddleston. Not Middlestone. It's an H. Hiddleston. Hiddleston. Yeah, he's reprising his role for that. If he wasn't reprising his role, I wouldn't be interested. But yeah, with him, I think that in itself would make subscribing to Disney Plus worth it. We got 32 miles to Boulder City. We're just creeping along here. Oh, we're like half tank, but I think we'll make it. I haven't seen The Mandalorian. I heard it's good, though. We're going to clear up the weather a little bit. We're going to take off the rain. We're going to change things around a little bit. So, a little imagination here. We're clearing out of the storm. If they ever do that Obi-Wan series, that might be good. Oh, and I heard the last season of Clone Wars was really good too. I think I've seen about half of the Clone Wars as far as the whole series itself. Yeah, he's done good. Did you watch the... forget the name of it, but it's the Winnie the Pooh movie that Ewan McGregor was in? That was fantastic. That was really good. So yeah, he played Christopher Robin as an adult. That was fantastic. That I really like that one. And then there was Moulin Rouge. That wasn't. Moulin Rouge is an interesting movie. Very artistically done. Shia, yeah. Shia. You might want to try that link again. I think that's missing something. There we go. Oh, this looks good. Hold on. I'm going to switch it over to another... Oh yeah, this is going to be priceless, I can tell. Here it is.
Hello there.
Christopher Robin. Well, duh, that's simple enough. As far as the name of the movie, I forgot that. That was great. There's another Star Wars one you need to check out. It's called like Star Wars Censored. There's a few of them, and it's like it takes what they're saying out of context and bleeps out the words. Those are pretty funny. Oh, so another thing, not that I'm trying to shoot myself in the foot here, but another thing that you can redeem points for, or maybe I should make it, I might make it another tier level. maybe I'll make that the 2000 tier level. But I'm thinking about adding, requesting a Vatsim event. So if you'd like to see something done on Vatsim, let's just pull that up here. Yeah, I think I'll make that 2000. And the reason is because it has to be done at a specific time, whereas the other ones I can be a little bit more flexible with the time. So I think a fourth tier where you can request a specific Vatsim event, I think would be really good. Okay, so these right here. So if you wanted me to fly any of these, let's click on more here so that way you can see more. So like if you go here to vatsim.net and look up the events and you see something here that's interesting and you're like, you know, I would really like to see a flight done with this, you know, perhaps because it's something that you'd like to do yourself, but maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it. Or perhaps you're not able, let's say you do fly on Vatsim, but it's at a time that you can't do it, right? And you say, I really would like to see that event, but maybe someone would be willing to do it. I'm doing this full time now because, well, I no longer have a job. So I have an open schedule. And I'll rearrange my personal schedule, you know, to do something like this. So, you know, I think I'll add that as a tier 4 redemption of killer points. So, yeah, so you can look at any of this stuff here and say, oh, Berlin Online Day, that looks cool, or Stansted, or, you know, Newark, Queensland. And then, of course, you can request the plane that I fly, as long as it's one that I have. So I think that would be a great idea for those that, you know, would love to see a Vatsim event and maybe they can't participate, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, I try to find things to get you, the viewers, more involved. Because I got to tell you, after many years of working for corporations, this last job I was at for nearly 10 years. I'm getting close to the age of 50. I'm done with corporations. I can't do it anymore. I want to be able to work for myself. I want to be able to build up my own business. And this is it right here. Doing videos, doing streaming, entertaining. This is the stuff that I love to do, and this is the stuff that I want to do for people. Obviously, it's not paying any bills at the moment, but I'm hoping that will change. I'm hoping that I will be able to build up a big following, and you know, together we'll be able to make this channel and the YouTube channel much bigger than what it is right now. So that's the thing. Because during times like these, with all the stupid, crazy stuff going on right now, I think it's important now more than ever to have a good place and a safe place that you can go to get away from it all, to get away from that garbage, and just relax, you know, and have fun. And that's the type of stuff that I want to provide my viewers, my audience. Yeah, I don't know, you know, in regards to numbers and stuff, I figure, you know, the numbers are going to come. I just started streaming on Twitch this year. I think I started around February. And the audience base I've got, I think, is a strong base. It's slow to grow, but it's a strong growth. So it's just going to take time. Same with the YouTube channel. It is growing, but it's a slow growth, but it's a very strong, steady growth. And that's why we have a killer community, because all of you are killer awesome. Looks like we're 16 miles from Boulder City. Kind of falling off course here a little bit. I lost one of my pages here. I had some air chatter going and I lost it. There we go. Everything looks good from my side. It didn't say that it dropped frames or anything. So far the quality is looking okay from my side. Eventually, getting back to the killer points, those are going to be expanded to include other types of games too. So I'm just kind of starting off with a few things.
November 4 to Uniform Contact Las Vegas Approach 125.9er. Have a good morning.
12 miles. I think I see Boulder City coming up here. That might be it over there. And I think that's the lake over there. I think that's Boulder Lake.
5500
I think probably what we should do is hang a right, come over here to the lake, and then make a left and come around. I don't think we're going to see Boulder Dam, but because like I was saying, landmarks is not really a thing in the old X-Planes. Oh, Lake Mead, okay. There probably is not a Boulder Lake.
That was 452.
That just kind of went out there.
That was 452. LA Center, good morning. Clear direct cream. Climb maintain for level 220.
Let me get the altimeter setting here.
Altimeter is 2998.
You know what's funny is that this is a Spanish version of X-Plane, right? All the menu options and everything are Spanish, but yet here with the ATC, it's all English. Here it is, altimeter setting.
Cessna 4155 Bravo altimeter 2992.
2. I don't know what they did with text-to-speech. It was much better. X-Plane 5 and X-Plane 6 text-to-speech was actually pretty decent. I don't know what garbage we're listening to here. I don't know what this is, but it's not the greatest.
LATM 700 Lima Lima, hold flight level
I
1, climbing to flight level
think we can go down in altitude a little bit.
November 700 Lima Lima, LA Center, good morning.
Good morning.
Just like when we get to Las Vegas, I don't think we're going to see the Strip, but we'll see when we get there. Hey, look! I can get speed in the Cessna now! So, 3D clouds. X-Plane 7 is the first version of X-Plane that had 3D clouds. Long before P3D. And even P3D doesn't have 3D clouds. I think you have to use Active Sky to get that. Maybe Rex, I'm not sure, but... Yeah, look at this. Shadows from clouds. What, P3D didn't do that until what version? 4? I don't know. I didn't get P3D until version 4. I don't have any interest in 1 through 3. Oh yeah, and another thing, I don't know if X-Plane 5 has it, but X-Plane 6, there are cars driving on the road. And that came out between, like, around Flight Simulator 2002, and we didn't see cars on the road until FSX. And the roads on FSX were just smudges on the ground. Whereas here, they're vector-based, they actually look like roads, and there's cars driving on them, so... pretty cool. Alright, let's switch over to Las Vegas here. I can actually put the airport information in here now. Crap. "18 miles to McCarran International." Where am I going? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? The night lighting, well, when I first saw that, when I first got X-Plane 11 and I was flying at night, yeah, that blew me away. I was wowed. I was wowed by it. Also, Orbix, after installing Orbix and seeing the night lighting with it, that was pretty cool too. Although when you get up and close and personal to those lights, they're actually floating orbs, you know. There's no actual light poles. They're all floating orbs of light. But still, from a distance, they look pretty cool. Alright, this way to Las Vegas.
That was 452, contact LA Center 132.5. Have a good day. It's 32.5. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Everything looks okay from this side. Maybe it's a problem with Twitch. The stream itself is okay. It's green. I've got green meter. Nothing, no frames being dropped. Everything looks good.
That was 1153 Center.
Hey, Center, Southwest.
It might be.
Good morning. 5 and 18.7 for 19.
That was 1153 LA Center. Good morning. Find me and team level 400.
I didn't even realize we were streaming for 6 hours until you said it. I look over and I'm like, oh crap! It has been 6 hours. Yeah, so you know what? When I get this on YouTube, I'm gonna have to break it down into parts. If I try to upload a 6-hour video, ain't nobody gonna watch it. I'll have to break it up into like 2-hour parts. I've got some cinematics over on YouTube that are about 5-6 hours in length. It doesn't get a whole lot of views though. Even though I have chapter lists and stuff in the description where you can just kind of click on them and get to where you last left off, or you know, watch the parts that interest you. They still don't get a whole lot of views. I'm still going to do them. I'm still going to do the cinematics because I love doing the cinematics. But I'm also wanting to focus on more things that people want to see, and that looks like McCarran right over there to the right.
Flight amendment, you're ready for preferential ready for your destination. Ready to copy 700 Lima Lima.
South 924 to send maintain 5,500. South 452, climb unrestricted, maintain flight level 190.
Cessna 4155 Bravo, wind light and variable, cleared to land runway to 5 right
South
and seek
258, climb maintain flight level
international.
190.
Runway 25.
0 Lima Lima, contact Nellis Control on 119.35.
Go ahead and look up Navigraph here for some approaches.
1363, McCarran 11 o'clock, 23 miles.
ILS. Well, there is no 25. There is a 26.
63, McCarran 11 o'clock, 21 miles.
What did he say? 26 left, 26 right? I can't remember. We'll just pick one.
South 8924, turn left heading of 010. South 8924, cleared visual approach runway 265.
Okay, we need to get down to 8,000 feet.
South 258, contact LA Center 124.2 today.
Oh, I'm at 7,500. I guess that'll work.
124.2 today.
It would help if I got the ILS information up. 110.3. Not that I need the ILS. I can do this without it, but let's test out the ILS approach.
Current 764 Sierra Uniform Las Vegas approach. Good morning, Las Vegas altimeter 298, and just to verify landing northbound.
It's not
4 Sierra
thing.
Uniform, Roger, advise when you have Sierra northbound. South 391, descend and maintain 5,500.
Okay.
South 391, Roger, you'll be following company coming over Larry now.
110.3, I am not getting a signal.
South 8924, contact tower 119.9, good day.
We should... It doesn't look like I've got... yeah, I'm not getting an ILS signal.
Contact LA Center 134.65, good day. South 504 Vegas, clear direct to Larry, intercept the 26 left localizer, descend and maintain.
We are less than 10 miles. This close, we should have an ILS. That's okay. We'll be all right with it.
91 company 9 to 10 o'clock, 5 miles, 5,300.
I don't see Las Vegas. Do you?
South 391, base at your discretion.
I don't see any
Runway 26 left.
buildings. I do see, I think, maybe a residential, residential area over here.
Contact tower 119.9, good day.
There's a little something there. We got to get down to about 4,000 feet here. Desert, yes. Deserted, probably is a better term. I was expecting to at least see some buildings or something. I don't even see that. Unless we're not close enough. Oh, here they are. They're popping up. Or that's the airport. That doesn't look like something that'd be for the airport. So I think that right there is supposed to be the strip. It's just, it looks to me that it's just generic buildings popping up. Got some hot air balloons that never seem to go up real quickly.
South 391, reduce 170 knots or less, towers 19.9.
Little residential area with trees. Maybe the ILS frequency is different than what we have on Agraphia. Well, stop bouncing up in the air. It's the elevator trim. The elevator trim is there. Why are we why are we still going up in the air here?
Baron 4 Sierra uniform, roger. Baron 4 Sierra uniform, remain at least 10 miles
There we
west
go.
of McCarran Airport, so you are clear to the Bravo Air.
No, autopilot is off.
Chris.
Yeah, autopilot's here. I made sure it was off.
504 McCarran, 11 o'clock and 23 miles. 504, quick visual approach runway 26 left.
Screech! No buildings or anything. We're kind of doing the Flight Simulator 4 thing, where there's no buildings at airports or very little. Yeah, this is like an early form. Oh, the taxiways are different too. Do you notice the taxiways are now gray, whereas before it had this texture right here? So there's a little bit more variety in the textures now. Gee, John, that doesn't sound like Vatsim at all. Yeah, we'll park it right here. Turn off the power. Yay! Holy crap, that took forever.